Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tim's Takeaways. Got a lot to talk about this week, so this video may end up going a bit longer than they usually do, but nonetheless, still want to talk about everything and not leave anything out. So we'll go ahead and get started. I mentioned a few weeks back that I was going to start taking a look every once in a while in these videos at some college athletes that are doing really well, and so I jotted down a few names that I want to give some props to and some accolades for performing really well this past week and then over the past couple weeks because I haven't done this in a few weeks. So we'll start with football up at UNC Pembroke. We've got several athletes playing. They do a really good job of recruiting this area. They picked up a nice 14-13 win over West Virginia State on Saturday, thanks in large part to West Brunswick graduate Tay Vereen. Tay had 10 tackles, which was a career high, and the Braves got a late stop in that game to come away with the victory. Of course, the quarterback up there, Hoggard's Josh Jones, also had another terrific game. So, congratulations to those guys and to the UNC Pembroke program. Hopefully, they'll continue to recruit in this area, and we can continue to send players there. Another team that does a really good job of recruiting down here, Randolph-Macon. They've got several players from this area. One of those is Cade Jones, who graduated from Ashley a few years back. After getting injured in his first game, he ended up actually missing 5 straight games. He came back this week for his first start since week 1 and played really well. Had an interception, 2 pass breakups, 2 tackles. It was a big win, 58-0 over Guilford. So congratulations, Cade. Glad you're back healthy and contributing. And Randolph-Macon continues to roll. They only have 1 loss this year, so a really good program up there. Like I said, that does a great job of recruiting down here. Owen Daffer, a kicker that graduated from New Hanover, is at ECU. He's done a really great job this whole year. 8 of 10 on field goals, 21 of 22 on PATs. So those special teams guys I know don't always get a ton of credit, but Owen doing a great job up there at ECU for the Pirates. Another special teams player from this area, Michael Rivers, graduated from North Brunswick. He plays for North Carolina A&T right now. He's their punter. He's averaging 38.8 yards a punt, and he's got 8 punts that landed inside the opponent's 20-yard line. So, uh, always a great weapon to have a really good punter that can change field position for you, and he's done just that for North Carolina A&T this year. Meek Watkins, named from several years back, graduated from Laney. He's still doing big things for Chowan. Had a 100-yard kickoff return early in that game, early in the first quarter. Also made 7 catches for 87 yards. Unfortunately, they lost the game to Virginia Union, but still a terrific performance from Meek Watkins from Laney. Got a couple soccer players that I wanted to mention. Uh, Cambria Oldham from South Brunswick scored her first career goal this weekend in a 2-0 win over Erskine. So congratulations to Cambria. Her goal came in the 48th minute. Connor Smith on the men's side played at Cape Fear Academy. He also had his 4th goal of the year this week. Unfortunately, Davidson ended up losing to UMass 3-2, but Connor now has 4 goals on the season. So congratulations to both of those soccer players. And then obviously we've got a tremendous amount of volleyball talent in this area, and some players doing some big things. Jasmine Goey graduated from Ashley last year, setting for College of Charleston right now. Has 319 assists on the season, which is an average of 5.7 per set. So Jasmine doing a great job in her freshman year. Juliana Askew at North Florida has 456 assists and 22 aces. Her assists are 6.8 per set, so she's doing great things for the Osprey down there in North Florida. Has been starting for them since she was a freshman and has been one of the best setters in the nation since she arrived on campus. So continuing to do great things. Sarah Shropshire from Laney graduated from Laney. She's helped Averett get off to a great start this year. They're 18-5 overall, 9-3 in the conference. She leads them in kills with 261. So those are just a few of the athletes. Obviously, we have many, many more playing at the next level, and love checking in on their stats. But those were just a few that I came up with that I wanted to give some props to. So we'll move back now to I want to move over to middle school sports where the first season here is finishing up. The Trask softball team does still have one more game left this week, but they've already clinched their fourth straight New Hanover County title. So congratulations to Coach Bradley Rhodes and the Bears. I think they're on a 32 game winning streak right now. During that stretch, they're just really rolling to victories. I mean, just not a lot of close contests. Their pitching staff is phenomenal. They have 5 or 6 probably pitchers that could start for any other middle school team in New Hanover County. So a lot of talent there. So congratulations to the Bears for winning another New Hanover County title. The Noble football team looks like it's going to win the county title. So far, they're undefeated with just one game left. So it looks like if they can win on Wednesday, they'll win the conference title for the second time in 3 years, I believe. They did not win it last year, but they did win it 2 years ago. So I believe this will be their second in 3 years for the Eagles. Cross country finished up with the Noble boys and the Murray girls winning those championships. So congratulations to those schools, and then obviously we'll be getting into to some boys basketball and girls soccer here. I think tryouts start maybe at the end of this week or early next week, and then we'll get into some games there. So looking forward to getting out and covering some of those events. The high school scene, we've got some huge football matchups in coming up this week. Laney Hoggard, which looks like it's going to be for the conference title. Laney came up with a nice win at South Brunswick on Friday night. Hoggard took care of business against Ashley, so Hoggard sitting with is the only undefeated team in the conference. Laney sitting with just the one loss, so this will be a huge game over at Laney this week. Looking forward to getting out and covering that one. And like I said, looks like if Hoggard wins that one, they do win the conference title. If Laney wins, looks like we could potentially maybe have a share of the conference title. Of course, there are still some weeks left, so there'll still be one more game after this Friday, so it won't automatically be a share of the conference title, but would look like it would head that way. In 3A, we've got a big matchup between North Brunswick and South Brunswick. Looks like the winner of that game will probably get the Mid-Eastern Conference's top 3A playoff spot. So that'll be another big one. Obviously, I can't be in two places at once. Wish I could cover both of those games, but I'll be at Laney. But I'll definitely have a recap of that South Brunswick North Brunswick game on the website Friday night. Volleyball, we had a big upset this week. New Hanover knocked off Hoggard. It looked like we were going to have a share for the conference title. It looked like Hoggard and Ashley were both going to finish at 13-1 in the conference. They both beat each other on the road, and so we went into the last game of the season thinking that was going to happen, and then New Hanover said, "No, just wait a minute. We have other plans for that," and they came up with a big 5-set victory over Hoggard. So that gave Ashley its first outright conference title, I believe, since 2017. I think is what it was, and gave them the number one seed for the upcoming playoffs and for the Mid-Eastern Conference tournament, which begins Monday. Looking forward to getting out to some of those games. The schedule's already out. There'll be 4 games on Monday, which will get us to the semifinals, which will be played Tuesday, and then the finals on Wednesday. All those matches will be played at the higher seed. Could potentially get a Hoggard-Ashley rubber match. Like I said, they both won a match this year, so they split the regular season series. So we could get a third matchup. If that happened, it would be in the finals. And then obviously the playoff brackets will come out next Saturday, and we'll see how our teams are seeded and who their first round opponents are. Speaking of playoffs, the private school, the North Carolina Independent School Athletic Association, came out with their playoff brackets today on Sunday, and we've got a pair of teams that earn number one seeds, which means state championships would be held here in Wilmington if those teams make it to the state championship. Their playoffs are always at the higher seed throughout the playoffs. So looking forward to covering some playoffs. We got Coastal Christian volleyball team. They're the number one seed in the 3A, and Cape Fear Academy's boys soccer team, the number one team in the 3A. So those brackets are on the website if you want to go check those out. Uh, just search NCISAA on Google. You can pull it up and you can pull up those brackets. Uh, I do know for a fact that in the boys soccer bracket, Coastal Christian's the 4 seed and Cape Fear Academy is the 1 seed. So if they both win their quarterfinal games, they'll play in the semifinals, which would be awesome, and would guarantee obviously that one of our teams plays for a state championship. Plenty more going on this week. We've got regionals for tennis coming up. The conference tournaments were just held last week. We've got the conference championship for cross country coming up this week. So I'll be talking about both of those next week on Tim's Takeaways. But it'll be another extremely busy week. Hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, I'll be out and about at a bunch of different things. So please, if you see me, come up and talk to me if I'm not too busy. I love discussing high school sports. So if you have any questions or just want to chat about high school sports, please feel free to do that. You can always message me on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and I'll be happy to get into some discussions with you there too. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Looking forward to seeing you out at games, and we'll talk to you next weekend. Okay, bye bye.